Morning, all. Mama Snark here. As you can see, it is quite early in the morning on this day. I'm going to do a get ready with me for rope drop. On this particular trip, I am a solo mom of a preschooler. I was there with my daughter for her fourth birthday trip, just her and I. Basically, if you have two little kids, it's going to be the same procedure as when my husband and my son are also with us because moms are the driving force usually of just about everything. So the only difference is I don't have another tiny human to get dressed and ready and a grown person to push out of bed and get ready and make coffee for. So here I am making coffee for myself. I brought my favorite Copper Cow pour over coffee. It's a Vietnamese pour over. So the in-room coffee in the value and the moderate resorts, they just don't cut it, y'all. Like it's basically like tea. It's very, very light tan water and it's not coffee. So I've started bringing the pour over coffee to have like a nice strong cup of coffee in the morning like I'm used to, and it doesn't take up a lot of space in my bag. So as you can see here, I just tore the top off of the filter, put it in the other cup, and then in a spare cup, I'm just gonna get some water here from the bathroom sink to fill the coffee pot with. Which I know I could have used bottled water, but there's a sleeping little wheeze, still sound asleep. So I like to get up first and drink my coffee and just have a moment. So I'm gonna fill the coffee pot with water, and then instead of putting a coffee pod into the coffee maker, I'm just gonna brew basically like a hot cup of coffee. And here I'm realizing that I couldn't fit the cup in there to pour the water. So yeah, just turn it on and brew it as if there was a coffee filter in there without actually putting one in. And then I'll just use that hot water to do the pour over and make an actual cup of coffee. So the Copper Cow, the one that I'd use, they have the latte packs that come with like the sweetened condensed milk that you can pour into it. But I just got the cheaper option, which was just like the actual coffee filters, and used the in-room sugar and the in-room creamer here to make a cup of coffee. So like I said, it doesn't take up a lot of space in your suitcase, and it's an easy option to have a nice strong actual cup of coffee in the morning. As you can see, the room is set up. We lived there for a couple of days, so excuse the mess. And here I am just using that hot water to do the pour over and let that coffee filter through and work its magic. It does take a minute for it to kind of filter through just so you don't overflow the filter. But are you like me where you like to get up first and have a moment just to exist and wake up and be a human before you have to deal with other people and other tiny humans? So I am, as you can see, I like to organize our drawers by day of. So I have our clothes set out and ready to go. That's my daughter Weezer's outfit for the day. And then my outfit for the day is right underneath hers. So I like to get everything laid out by tops, bottoms, underwear, socks, headband, literally everything you need for the day ready to go. It makes getting out the door much easier in the morning. So that's my socks and my daughter's socks, but I think we're going to wear sandals this day because it's supposed to be a bit of a rainy day. So while that pours, I got our clothes out, got everything kind of laid out and ready to go so that when it comes time to get dressed, everything's just a little bit easier on me. Stir that up. And as you can see, it does not make a very big cup of coffee. I'm one of those people that I like to use less water and have a more like concentrated cup of coffee. rather than just going for volume. So while she's still asleep, I'm going to let her sleep as long as humanly possible. We call her the Kraken, and I want to wake the Kraken until I have to. So I'm just going to sit there and savor my cup of coffee and attempt to wake up. Now I'm dressed, caffeinated, dressed, ready to start the day, but that's my outfit of the day. I was on the struggle bus for sure. We were, as you know, if you've ever been to Disney World, it's an exhausting trip. Gotta do the essentials there. Please wear deodorant, people, if you're going to the parks. And no offense to you natural deodorant people, but I like my aluminum. So this is me getting myself ready in the morning before waking my daughter. Like I said, I like to let her sleep as long as humanly possible because once she's up, I'm going to have not that much time to do what I need to do. And here I think I'm trying to figure out where moving the chair out of the way. So when my daughter uses the sink to brush her teeth and wash her hands and things like that, we take one of the chairs from that Murphy bed table and just push that up against the sink so that she can reach it. So here I'm just doing, basic human needs, brushing my teeth, washing my face, all of that good stuff. Wash. Now it's time to wash my face. I bring a travel little bottle filled with my typical Cetaphil face wash, just so that I can, use what I'm accustomed to at home without breaking out. And then I just keep that in the shower so it's ready to go for me. It's ready to go at the end of the night whenever I'm taking a shower after the parks. Face lotion to make sure that my skin is nice and hydrated. And then once we get into the parks and the park has been open for a little bit and the sun's coming out, I'm going to put sunscreen over this. During the summer months, I do not wear any type of foundation or powder or anything like that. I just use a tinted sunscreen, which I can link below for you. Louise is still sleeping peacefully, getting all that beauty rest to have energy for the day ahead of us. After checking on her and ensuring that she is still sound asleep and that I still have a little bit of time, I am getting my jewelry on and doing my hair and putting on what little bit of makeup I wear while I'm in the parks. So it is now 6:55, almost 7 a.m. Hollywood Studios that day opened, I think, at 8:30 for early entry. So my goal was to be at the bus stop for 7:30 a.m. Typically, in order to be at the front of the pack, you want to give yourself at least an hour to get there so that you have enough time to get to the front of the queue before they start letting people into the turnstiles. Either way, no matter what time you get there, getting there for early entry is crucial to knocking out a bunch of the big hitters before the park officially opens to non-Disney resort guests. So here I am putting my hair in a simple French braid just to get it up and out of my face and to keep it from getting tangled because we were a hot, sweaty mess on this trip. We went in August and the Florida weather is typical about the same as Louisiana weather, so it was very hot, very humid, and sweaty. So just giving myself a simple little French braid here just to keep my hair up and not tangled. So I have very fine, thin hair. So when I'm done with my French braid, I'm just using that horrible mirror to check the back of my hair to make sure that I don't have any parts of my scalp showing or anything like that so that my scalp does not end up sunburned. Because if you are a pale person and you have any part of your scalp, like the part if you have your hair in pigtails, etc., it will burn if you do not put sunscreen on it. Now it's time for my very, very minimal makeup routine. This is Derma Blend Concealer. Like I said, if you've ever been to Disney and you know Disney tired, I have some quite heavy bags underneath my eyes. So one of the few bits of makeup that I will put on during the summer months is a little bit of concealer under my eyes to try to look not quite so haggard. Bringing you closer for a little bit of a closer look. So, like I said, very minimal makeup comes with me to Disney year round, but especially in the summer when I'm just going to sweat it all off anyway. So one of my favorite things that I like to travel with makeup-wise are these amazing eyeshadow pencils. So you just swipe the eyeshadow. It's kind of like a cream eyeshadow. Swipe that on and good to go. No brushes, no mess, no fuss. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Dropping things everywhere. So these are the colors that I chose for this day. I really like these specific ones that come with like the brush on the end. So you kind of just apply a little bit of it and then you use the brush to kind of blend everything in. So yeah, I love these eyeshadow pencils a lot because you just kind of swipe a little bit on and then blend in with the brush. And I'll also say I am by no means a makeup person, a makeup expert. I have never bought anything from Sephora or Ulta. Also, pretty much all of my makeup comes from Amazon or Walmart during my grocery pickup order. So if that gives you any indication on my makeup habits, take from that what you will. Next up is an eyebrow pencil. And this is just to give it, give a little bit more definition. Like I said, I have very fine, thin hair that applies to my eyebrows as well. So I use just a little bit of color from an eyebrow pencil just to kind of give my eyebrows a little bit more definition, especially when on camera. Next up is trying to figure out what to do with the camera so I don't stab myself in the eye. Next up is a smidge of eyeliner. Like I said, I am not a makeup person, so I just do a tiny bit of eyeliner on my top lids to give my eyes a little bit of pop and a little bit more of a dramatic look. I also really like to use this purple color. This one I believe is an Almay eyeliner pencil. The purple makes green eyes stand out a little bit more, and I have like a hazel green eye color, so I really like to use the purple eyeliner pencil. Next up is just a little bit of mascara. Again, a tad bit just to make my eyes pop. This is basic, run-of-the-mill drugstore brand mascara. I don't use anything special. If you're looking for makeup tips and tricks, I am not the one. Or the shirt right up there. That's what happens when you're chunky and wear a crop top. But let me tell you, it's so hot out those parks. Don't even care. Don't worry about it. You do you, sis. Alright, and that's it for my fabulous makeup routine. And then I do the basics like not forgetting my wedding ring, because obvious reasons, but look how cute this Enzo Moana ring is. I got it again from Amazon, but it's Enzo brand, very comfortable, and it has a cute little Moana motif. Next up, before I wake her, is to make sure that the stroller is ready to go. There, I had my stroller fans plugged in and charging, so making sure that that's good to go. I do all of that the night before. I'm making sure that everything is in the park bag the night before, that portable chargers in there, everything that needs to be charged is charged, everything that needs to be in there has been replenished or restocked, such as glow sticks and things of that nature. But yeah, making sure that everything was charged and ready to go. The camera had space on it, giving it a little bit more charge there. Getting my shoes and putting my shoes on for the day. These shoes, let me tell you, I have these in 4 or 5 different colors. They are the Skechers, I think Brilliancy Go Walk or something, and I'll link them down below for you, but I have them in tan, navy, black, and a leopard print. My absolute favorite park sandals. So there I have my medical tape. I had foot surgery about a year ago to remove a pinched nerve between my toes. It's called a Morton's neuroma. I developed it from pregnancy. Motherhood's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to end up having to have another surgery on it. In the meantime, I have to use medical tape to tape my toes together so that I am not in a lot of pain by the end of the night. So basically, I'm just giving my toes a little bit more support that they need. It's now 7:09. Like I said, I had that goal to be at the bus stop for 7:30, so it's crunch time. Can we do it? It is now time to wake the Kraken, so I am turning off our sound machine. I always travel with a sound machine. So I'm putting my magic band on, and I will realize once I get to the park that I tragically missed a step, and I did not put Weezer's magic band on her. So we ended up having to get a card at the gate for her to use as her ticket for the day to scan into lightning lanes and such and to get into the park. So I learned my lesson, and she had her magic band on the next day. But here I'm just putting it on. If you can see the little bit belt slider, y'all, these things are not easy to put on. Let me tell you. And they pop off so stinking easily. So I'm sliding on the bit belt right there, and it's just a little connector piece to try to prevent it if it pops off from just falling off. So it'll kind of hold it there. Highly recommend. I ordered in the grocery order these little carnation breakfast essentials. Usually I do Horizon shelf stable milk, but I wanted to use these myself a couple of mornings as well and to use kind of like as a breakfast substitute so that we could wait a little bit longer after we got to the park to go and find some kind of like breakfast or brunch and just have that in the morning with a little granola bar to tide her over. So I had to empty a little bit out to create some space in the carton so that I had some room to put her Miralax in it before anyone comes at me. We see a GI specialist, a pediatric GI specialist. She is prescribed Miralax daily. Just so you know, I'm not poisoning her. It's Miralax. So I'm getting her morning milk ready, shaking that up. I always bring with me some individually wrapped plastic straws. Come at me if you must, but y'all, when I'm on vacation, I do not want to wash reusable silicone straws in the bathroom sink. Like, that's just ick to me. So I am attempting to wake the Kraken. Like I said, there is no tire like Disney tire. Also, have a little grace with your littles in the morning. Like I said, it's an exhausting trip. It takes a lot out of them. So have a little grace with them in the morning when they're a little bit slower to get up and get moving. Make sure you give yourself that little time buffer. And if you go over it, that's okay. So here I am finding something to put on the TV for her to watch. Usually my kids, our morning routine at home is that they have their milk. I get them dressed usually. And then they have their milk while they watch like sight words or something like that on TV before we have to get Man Cub on the bus. So I'm finding one of her shows to watch while I get, basically so that I can entice her to sit up and start sipping on her milk. Oh, big stretch. Usually her milk, there we go, makes her pop right up. She loves her morning milkies. And she will suck that down in about 2 minutes flat. So while she's drinking her morning milk, I'm just going to finish doing the last little touches that I need to do, such as filling water bottles for the park bag. I cannot recommend one of these Brita water bottles enough. It has a carbon filter in it, or a charcoal carbon filter in it, so that it gets the nasty taste out of the water fountain. So see here, you can see that I'm pulling a Ziploc bag full of mostly melted ice out of the fridge. I ordered some salads and like a Lunchable for Weezer on my grocery delivery order, and at the end of the day, I fill that up with ice from the vending machine and put it in there on top of those perishable items to make sure that they don't go bad. Because the in-room quote-unquote fridge is actually a beverage cooler, so it's not going to keep things cold enough to keep them food safe. So I'm getting my water bottle and her water bottle out and prepped so that I can fill them with fresh water. Got the bottled water from our grocery delivery order, and I'm just going to go ahead and top those off. Now, you don't need to use bottled water with the Brita filtered bottle. You can use sink water, water fountain water, whatever, because it does have that filter in there. But since I had a whole case of water to use, I went ahead and used it just so it didn't go to waste. And what I had left over at the end of the trip, I gave to Bell Services so that they had some water. And then I'm also just bringing an extra bottle of water so that I can refill her bottle because hers does not have the filter in it. Here I have my fan, my portable charger, some wipes, making sure everything's in there. I charged everything last night. Umbrella because it's supposed to rain that day. And then this little bottle, so I actually got her water bottle that had like the sippy straw spout, and this water bottle that has the chug spout. It's Zach branded, which is a good water bottle brand. I got it from Target Dollar Spot, $3 for both of them as a 2-pack. So I just went ahead and brought that along too, and I ended up using that to do like an in-room cold brew for myself. I just ordered cold brew concentrate in my Walmart grocery order, and then I used that Carnation Breakfast Essential to make as like a coffee creamer, basically to make like a coffee protein shake for myself. Because that 1 cup of coffee, y'all, if you thought that's all I was gonna have in a day, you're silly. So this is my 2nd cup of coffee for the day, cold brew concentrate with that as my creamer, and it makes basically like a coffee protein drink. And that's why I ordered those instead of the Horizon shelf-stable milk boxes that I usually do. And then I just stopped at the vending machine on our way out of our room to fill it with a little bit of ice. All right, cold brew, ready to put in the stroller cup. And now it is time to get the Wheeze dressed. Here she is pushing her chair over to the sink so that she can start to get ready. She's going to brush her teeth by herself because she is a 4-year-old big girl and Little Miss Independent. As you can see, I have a bunch of ice in the sink. I paused the camera and grabbed her and took her with me to go refill those Ziploc bags for the refrigerator with some more ice from the vending machine. So I dumped what was in there out and went and got some fresh ice. She asked me for my help, which she sometimes does, but like I said, we were both a little bit slow going this morning. We had already done a full day of Magic Kingdom, also a travel day, as well as a full day at Epcot. So this was our 3rd Disney day. And now it is time for the task I like least in the morning, and that is doing Weezer's hair. Every morning, before I do her hair, I ask her how she wants her hair for the day, and I let her pick. For Disney days, I usually kind of persuade her a little bit. So this particular day, I am doing just regular old pigtails because we're going to Hollywood Studios this day, if you can't tell from her Tower of Terror dress. Tower of Terror is her absolute favorite ride in Disney World, that and Frozen. So she likes her hair to be down when she rides Tower of Terror so that her hair can fly up. But it was way too hot for her to have her hair down. Like, it would have just been sticking to her neck horribly. So I convinced her to let me do piggy tail so that her hair could still fly up, but it was also like off of her neck and wasn't going to make her hot and miserable. Pigtails acquired. Now it is time to get her shoes on. I put sandals on her this day as well, again because it was supposed to rain, which it did for a little bit that afternoon. My favorite sandals for my little ones are these Keen sandals. When I find them on a good deal, like $30 or less on Amazon, I buy them in several sizes up and I stow them away for later because they're the best summer shoe that could possibly exist. They're good for hiking too. They've got a lot of good traction to them and they've got the good toe bumpers. And I will also say, yes, she is perfectly capable of putting her shoes on by herself. Like I said, she's a very independent little kiddo, but Disney tired is like no other. Where's she at? There she is. All right, guys, that's it for our morning. Bless you. Our morning routine here at Disney World for rope drop. It is, let me see what time it is. 7:37. I want it to be heading to the bus for 7:30. So we're 7 minutes late, but not too bad, especially by myself with a little one. So heading to the bus stop now. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it was helpful to kind of see the routine of things and stuff, getting little kids ready for rope drop. It's easier just to let them sleep in, do as much as you can until they're ready to wake up. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you give this video a like and a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell. Bless you. Subscribe to my channel and follow along for more Disney content. Bye, guys.